Tops. Okay, so last one before Christmas. So doing a nice quick little live session for core. So with this workout, when you think about working your core, particularly your abs in this section, in this video, we're going to look at working out the upper parts of the abs, the lower parts of the abs, plus the sides, which help with twisting and obviously with supporting your waist. And they're all, to look at it from all three perspectives is quite important, because that's going to really help you get really strong functional strength around your middle. Most of the exercises that we're going to do today are lying on your back, so you have the mat to support you. I'm also going to do a couple of sessions where you're facing down, like plank type things. You don't have the support of your back in those, so they are good for more advanced strength as well. So definitely, if you're able to do those, to work from both sides as well. So lying on your back and then face down. All right then, so we're going to start. So I'm going to lie down here. You can use a weight. I'm going to do it with a weight and also show you how to do them without a weight. So my weight's here. Okay, so starting off, we're going to just lie on your mat. Your feet are up, and if you have a weight, you can hold it and just have it behind your head. If you're not having a weight, you can just put your hand behind your head, because we're going to do some little crunches like this. So this would be the version without the weights. With a weight, you're having it over here and you're pulling that weight up towards the middle of your legs, okay? So we're going to do 12 of those. Now, before you start, I want you to think about the connection between your ribs and your hips, okay? So you can see where my fingers are here, and you're going to squeeze those together really tightly. And what that does, it really presses you back into the floor. So it's a good cue when you're lying on your back to know that your back needs to be pushed on the floor. But really think about it in terms of your ribs and your hips closing as if you're just shutting a little book together, okay? And you're going to keep that feeling of strength through the front all the way through the movement. So when you're lifting up and when you're lifting back, you keep that connection. As soon as you lose that connection, you can see how my back arches off the floor, my ribs start to flare, and these muscles aren't engaged anymore. So really important that you squeeze those together. They stay like that all the way through every exercise, okay? So we're going to start with a weighted one, and we're going to do 12 of these, okay? So again, I'm just checking this, pushing my back hard into the floor, and I'm coming up like this. We're going to do 12 of these. So that's one. Now tuck your chin in. If you poke your neck forward like that, it can be quite stressful on your neck. So instead, just keep your neck, your chin tucked in and your neck long at the back. And that will help it be less uncomfortable in your neck. So I'm talking and losing count. Let's say that's 6, 7, 8. Keeping those abs really nice and tight. 9, and your back pushed into the floor. 10, 11, last one, and 12. Okay, and then back into the beginning position. So we're going to stay in the same place. Now you can hold your weight above you here. If you don't have a weight, you're just going to hold your hands up like that. Okay, it doesn't really matter which one you do. And for this, so you're keeping your weight up, we're going to lift our feet up, so your knees are up, and imagine you've got a right angle here and a right angle behind your knees. Again, you can see me squeezing together here, so my back's really solid on the floor, and you're going to tap down with your heel. So you want to think that your thigh goes back, rather than your knee bending more to tap down, to tap closer to your body, okay? You're tapping a little bit further away. And you're really keeping that squeeze, that connection between your ribs and your hips all the way through. Okay, so we're going to do 12 on alternate legs. So this is 1, 2, 3. So we're working one side of the body at a time here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep that back really tight on the floor, 11, and 12, and then You can bring your weight down or your arms down and your feet down. Okay, so working on the sides now, you're going to sit up. So you need to be nice and upright here. What's really important is that your shoulders are down, your chest is very slightly lifted. You want to have a nice flat back. And you're going to twist from side to side. Now you could do this without a weight, as I'm doing here, or you could do it holding a weight. If you hold the weight, you want to just make sure that that doesn't pull your posture back. Your shoulders still are down and back. Very often we hunch our shoulders up because we're used to working like that. When we're on laptops, we need to really relax and pull those shoulders down. Tip your head very slightly forward so you've got a nice long neck at the back. So my stomach's pulled in again, so I'm feeling that connection between my ribs and my hips. Nice straight back here, not slouch down, and I'm going to just turn from side to side, and we're going to do 12 of those. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, and then the weight down. So I mentioned at the beginning we were going to do some exercises facing the other way for your core. So a nice one to start with is this one. So very simple. You're going to be on all fours. But again, it's really important that you think about that connection between your hips and your ribs, so your back's nice and solid here, and your stomach's engaged. And pull my hair out of the way, and you're going to turn your toes under a little bit. Now hands nice and wide, your hands are directly under your shoulders, and you want to have your head look between your hands. So you want to think that your back and your neck are in a line, rather than having your head dipping down, looking at your feet. And you're going to just lift off your knees just a couple of inches off the floor, and you're going to try and hold that as long as you can. So I'm just going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then rest. Okay, so that's one. The next one, we're going to do a slow mountain climber. So for this, again, we're going to have our hands directly under our shoulders. This time, hopefully you can still see me, your feet are going straight out here. Now again, the first thing I'm doing is getting that connection between my ribs and my hips, okay? And if you look at my head, hopefully it looks level rather than looking at my feet. I'm keeping my neck up here. And then keeping that connection between my ribs and my hips, I'm going to pull one step in, and then I'm going to step in on the other side, nice and slowly. So we're going to do 12 of those. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You try not to twist and keep your back as steady as you can. 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12, and then down. Okay? So 5 exercises there. Let's go around those again. So grabbing your weight. So first things first, get that connection between your ribs and your hips, squeeze together, back in the floor, nice and solid. And then we're sitting up for 12. 1. Remember to tuck your chin in rather than stick your neck out. And that's going to make it less stressful on your neck. 3, 4, keeping that connection all the time, especially if the weight goes back over your head. 6, 7. This is more working the upper part of your abs. 9, the next one is more the lower part. So this is 10, 2 more, 11, last one, and 12. Okay, and then the next one, remember, we're just lifting the weight over us. If you're not using the weight, you can just put your hands out, knees come up. Again, first thing you do, squeeze the hips and the ribs together, your back's really firm in the floor, and you're just tapping down with your heel behind you. Okay, we'll do 12 of those. That's 3 and 4, and this is working the lower part, you'll probably feel. 5, 6, 7, Keep the connection really strong. And your core. 10, 11, last one, and 12. And then your feet go down, the weight comes down. Okay, sitting up. So now we're working the obliques, the side of the abs. So this is a brilliant one to include because if you think about it, all day long we twist, we move, we don't just move front to back. So building up some strength in twisting movements is really, really important. Okay, so shoulders down, chest slightly lifted, your neck, you just slightly tip your chin in, and then to one side. And 2, so your whole body moves together, your head moves with your hands, and that helps you get better twist. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. Weight can go down, turning over. So now these are a little bit more difficult because we don't have the support of the floor with our back. So first one on your hands and knees. First thing you do is get that connection between your ribs and your hips. Make that squeeze really nice and solid. You're going to turn your toes under. Your head, the back of your head is level with your back. Remember, you're not looking at your knees. Hands under your shoulders. Turn your toes under, and you're just lifting your knees off. And this time we're going to stay here for 10 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rest. And then lastly, our slow mountain climbers. So your first thing to do, get that connection again between your ribs and your hips, really nice and solid. And then you're going to just step out with your feet one at a time. Hands under your shoulders, spread your fingers really nice and wide. Keep that connection between your stomach, so really tight. And then you're taking a step in. Try not to move your body as much as possible. And we're going to do 12, that's 3. Again, just look between your hands. Don't let your head dip down. 6, 7, nice and slow. 8, 9, 10, 11, last one, and 12. And then knees down. Okay, so little stretch without getting my head chopped off. Let me just move this laptop. So for a stretch for this, just going to do it kneeling down. You can bring your hands together and you're just lifting up. So the feeling for this now is that you're pulling your ribs and your hips away from each other. So you're lengthening that muscle at the front and really stretch and reach up. And you can even hold your hands and use them to pull yourself up. And then because we've worked the sides, you can hold one wrist, and then with the wrist that you're holding, you're going to pull yourself over to the side. And that's going to just give you a bigger stretch on the muscles at the side of you. And then swap hands, and you're going to pull yourself over. Again, you're just really lengthening all the muscles down that side to give yourself a nice stretch. And then lastly, we'll just go straight up again. Really reaching up, pulling your hips and your ribs apart. And then we're done. Lovely. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a go. Let me know if you try it. And if I don't see you before on a live, have a lovely Christmas and New Year. Well, I'll see you between Christmas and New Year anyway. Okay. Right, take care. Bye now. How do we go?